Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most underrated credit cards on the market, the American Express Blue Cash Preferred. Now I know, before you come at me in the comments saying how could an American Express card be considered underrated, think about it. Isn't all of the American Express conversation you hear about the Gold card and the Platinum card? I think you're going to be very surprised when I show you some of the numbers behind the Blue Cash Preferred and tell you how for the right person, this card is actually criminally underrated. Well, who is that person? Stay tuned. I'll tell you right now. So if you're looking to maximize your spending on groceries, but also some other everyday categories, I think the Blue Cash Preferred should be on your radar. If you haven't thought about it lately, let me tell you why. I'm going to show you this card in a different way. I'm going to talk, of course, about the card, show you how it compares, and give you the math behind why it beats out some of its fiercest competitors, talk about the perfect wallet setup that the card does really well in, and then tell you the ideal person that this card fits absolutely best for. Let's start with a brief overview though. As you can see, the Blue Cash Preferred has some powerhouse earnings categories led by none other than the 6% back on grocery store purchases up to the first $6,000 per year. After that, you drop down to 1% cashback reward. It also offers 6% cashback on a robust list of streaming services, which pretty much includes everything that you may be using today. Additionally, it gives you 3% on gas and 3% on transit before going to 1% on every other purchase. Now, a key thing to note is that all of your earnings can be redeemed either for statement credit or through purchases made at Amazon.com. This card does not earn American Express membership rewards points. Finally, it comes with a $0 introductory annual fee on year 1, and then year 2 and every other year after that, you'll be charged a $95 annual fee to hold the card. You can also get a really solid welcome offer of $250 cash back. And if you want to use the link in the description below, if you feel that this is the right card for you to apply for, using that link is a free way to benefit the channel and the free content that I put out every single week for you guys. Okay, so let's break this down. How strong really are these earnings categories? When you hear 6% back on groceries, you automatically associate this as a grocery card. And that's really good. In fact, it's much better than you can find in most every other credit card in the grocery category. And groceries are not something to overlook. Statistically, for the single American person, after rent or mortgage, groceries are the top average spending credit card category. This is something you pretty much have to buy no matter what, and you might as well be looking for a card that gets you the most possible back for that purchase. I even made a video dedicated to ranking every single grocery specific credit card that earns more than 3% back. And I won't spoil the video for you in this one, but I'll give you a hint that the Blue Cash Preferred performed really well in that one. Now, as we compare the Blue Cash Preferred to some of its top competitors, we also have to understand that this isn't just a grocery credit card. You can use it, of course, in multiple categories, some of those earning 3 or 6% more. However, in those calculations, to be fair, you have to factor in the annual fee that comes with it. And we'll do that. We'll look at the first year earnings with no annual fee, and we'll also look at earnings with the $95 annual fee. What we won't include is the $84 Disney bundle credit, which is broken down monthly. And for some people who use the services that are included under that Disney bundle credit, we'll basically reduce this $95 card to a $9 card just to hold. However, I want to show you how this card stacks up in groceries, gas, and streaming services, which are 3 very important categories. The average American in a typical year, and this is statistics given to us by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, spends $504 a month on groceries, $204 a month on gas, and $54 a month on streaming services. We're going to compare the Blue Cash Preferred to the AAA Daily Advantage credit card, as well as the Citi Custom Cash. Let's start with the AAA Daily Advantage. That card earns 5% cash back on groceries, which is pretty incredible as well. It also earns 1% cash back on everything else and comes with a standard $100 sign-up bonus. Looking at the AAA Daily Advantage in year 1, including the sign-up bonus, you can expect to earn $433.33 back in just those elevated categories. And then in year 2 and beyond, the average person would earn $333.36. Now, what about the City Custom Cash? That card is famous for its 5% flex category that earns you 5% cash back on a healthy list of possible categories. For most people, that can be a primarily grocery card, which is what we'll apply the 5% back on here. For everything else, that card earns a flat 1%. It does come with a $200 sign-up bonus, which is going to boost its year 1 earnings. In year 1 with the City Custom Cash, you could expect if you use that card on groceries, gas, and streaming to earn $531.44. After that, when you lose the sign-up bonus, that drops to $331.44 in years 2 and beyond. Now, what about the Amex Blue Cash Preferred? Same numbers, but now 6% back in groceries, capped at $6,000, 6% back in streaming services, and 3% back in gas. That comes to a fantastic and substantially larger year 1 earnings of $722.80. When you take out the sign-up bonus and then also add the annual fee, which kicks in starting in year 2, your cashback earnings will drop to $377.80. Still higher than either of those top 2 competitors, and we didn't even factor in any value that you may or may not get from implementing the $84 Disney Bundle credit. Now that you know it's one of the simplest, but also best earning credit cards for cashback in some of those elevated categories, let's look at 3 options for a wallet setup that it could fit into. Option A is what I call the solo wallet. And while I recognize that some people who want to keep their card setups very simple use this, it's not something I recommend. And that solo wallet setup is just using the Blue Cash Preferred card and using it as a daily driver for every purchase. Wallet setup B, which is one level more advanced than using it as a solo card, is to take the Blue Cash Preferred, use it in elevated category purchases, and pair it with a flat 2% cashback card, say the Fidelity Visa Signature 2% card, and use that for all non-category purchases to earn 2% back in. That makes for a simple setup, yet one where you're earning pretty robust cashback earnings. Option C, which is what I like the best, is to take the Blue Cash Preferred, combine it with a flat 2% non-category cashback card, and then also pepper in different credit cards that target some of your other highest spending categories and earn elevated points on those. You specifically want to find cards that earn better in dining, entertainment, and of course travel. If you build an option B or option C wallet setup there, you're going to have a nice wallet setup that is earning an optimal amount of cash back or rewards points for the purchases that you've got to make no matter what. Finally, I want to talk about who this card is really built for, because like I said at the beginning of the video, this card is actually criminally underrated for the right profile of person. This card's best fit is for the single person who only uses their credit cards to support spending of their own. I always look back at myself before I got married and wish that I'd taken the leap and gotten this card. That's because I fit that typical average spending profile that we looked at when we did the card comparisons earlier. I spent just over $6,000 a year in groceries, and that pretty much works perfectly for that 6% grocery spending cap. I also drive a good deal to get to work and use a number of streaming services, which would have hit those elevated categories as well. I also happen to be a sports fan, so I would have used the Disney Bundle credit to almost get the ESPN Plus subscription basically for $1 or $2 each month after that credit was applied. For myself, a number of years ago, or for someone who fits that single person and spending high in those specific categories, this card is almost the perfect fit out there. I will say a few other negatives that anybody should consider is that travel protections on this card are not quite as robust as some of the other options that American Express offers for their more travel-focused cards. Additionally, and interestingly enough, the Blue Cash Preferred, it also doesn't pair well with many other American Express cards. So This could be a good thing or a bad thing if you really like American Express, but because this card offers strictly cash back and doesn't intermix well with cards that earn membership rewards points, there's going to be no benefit in adding synergy to your wallet by sticking in all American Express cards, for example. It's also a direct competitor to the Amex Gold Card, so you may want to watch one of my videos on the Gold Card to figure out which one may be right for your specific situation. Still, if you're trying to decide if this card is right for you or not, I do offer a free credit card consultation where we can kind of look at your situation more at a one-to-one level. So if you've got any specific Blue Cash Preferred or other credit card questions, fill out the link below to get started on that. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe to see more related videos. And I thank you so much for watching this one. We'll see you in the next video.